Good morning, friends, and welcome to the pre-market view. We are seeing some weakness across the global markets after about 4 to 5 days kind of a rally. So US markets were down about 0.3 to 0.4%. Same was the case with European markets as well. They were also down about 0.5%. And when we look at the Asian markets today, China is down about almost 1%, but the rest of the markets are down marginally to about 0.3 to 0.5%. Also in US, the earnings season is kick-starting from today with Alcoa reporting the numbers, so the markets are a little cautious ahead of the earnings season. In terms of flows, FIs continue to be net buyers in the cash market to the tune of about 961 crore, and the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of almost about 900 crore. Back home, our markets also were a bit sluggish. We saw some amount of profit booking across banking stocks. Also, stock like L&T has seen about 2 to 3% kind of a cut, as there are reports that the order inflow this quarter would be quite muted because some of the outsourced orders which L&T has got cancelled. Also, we are seeing some amount of weakness in individual mid-cap pockets which had run up quite a bit. At the same time, sectors like telecom are seeing renewed buying interest after the indications from the government that the auction price for CDMA would be about 30 to 50% lower. Also, the next auction that is likely to take place in March, the effective price could be much lower, which would result into lower cash outflow for the telecom players like Bharti, Idea, Arcom, so on and so forth. Also, friends, we are seeing a lot of strength in the oil and gas sector, as even the Prime Minister has indicated that the energy prices in our markets is much lower than the international markets. So market is expecting some reforms from the government on the oil price front, as well as some more measures on the oil and gas sector per se. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues, ideas and strategies that we could have in the F&O markets.
Good morning, friends. Let's have a view at derivatives now. Friends, this is for the second day in a row we have seen that in Nifty future short positions have been squared off by the market participants, but that has not affected the PCR ratio. It's still hovering around the mark of 1 and is at 1.03. Now, if we talk specifically about the activity on the options front, what we have seen is that there's no drastic change on the option chain. But yes, a good amount of accumulation has been seen in 6,100 call option, followed by 6,200 and 6,300 call option. Whereas if you have a look on the put side, 5,900 put option has added a good amount of open interest. So 6,000, which is a weekly VWAP, would act as a good support for the market, and on higher side 6,100 would act as a hurdle for the market. We have also seen that the implied volatility after 3 to 4 trading session has shot up, and this probably has been indicating, yes, as we are approaching towards the major events lined up on Friday, that is the Infosys result as well as the other economic data which we would be watching for, the uncertainty in the market would increase and we may see some selling pressure coming in at market. Now, from the stock specific front, Adani Port is looking good, so one can buy from intraday perspective with stop loss of 138 rupees 65 paisa. Exide Industry is also looking good, so one can maintain a stop loss of 144 rupees 90 paisa. Infosys is looking good, one can maintain a stop loss of 2346.80 paisa, whereas one can go short on Ashok Leyland from intraday perspective with stop loss of 27 rupees 20 paisa. Thank you.
Friends, here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, the Prime Minister has indicated that the energy prices in our markets is much lower than the international markets, be it iron ore or natural gas or even for that matter oil and diesel. So there are indications that the government is looking at increasing the energy prices in a phased manner, which is going to be positive for the oil marketing companies like HPCL, BPCL, IOC, also for ONGC and Oil India, where the effective realization that they are getting for oil and gas both is much lower than the international prices. So there is some amount of buying interest being seen in some of these stocks. In case of infrastructure companies, the ECB norms have been relaxed, and some of these infrastructure financing companies could avail ECB to the tune of about 75% of their own funds without any approval. So one can go long on IDFC with a stop loss of about 180 and a target of about 189 to 193. Also, some of the infrastructure financing companies like PFC, REC, IFCI, these news are positive. Bajaj Auto is expecting sales of about 45,000 units of their newly launched 100cc bike Discover, which they have priced aggressively for a better technology compared to Honda, and one can go long on Bajaj Auto on the back of that with a stop loss of 2150 and a target of about 2260 to about 2301. GMR, some negative news as the company has terminated its contract with NHAI for a 6-laning of the Kishangarh, Udaipur, Ahmedabad highway. So NHAI may initiate some legal action against GMR for this. So one can short GMR with a stop loss of 21 and a target of about 20 to about 19.50. In other news, friends, the steel makers, some positive news as the government has imposed a 20% duty on alloys to protect the local producers from the Chinese import. So this is positive for Tata Steel and JSW Steel and SAIL. We saw this news coming during the market hours, so some of the stocks have already reacted to it, but we could see some positive action even in today's markets. Also, Marico board has approved the splitting of the 2 units, FMCG business, which is the core business which company is running, and also the skin care business, which is operated under the brand name Kaya, is going to be relisted. And for every 50 shares of Marico that the shareholders are holding, 1 share of Make or the skincare solution business would be given to the shareholders, and this is valuing the skincare solution business as at about 270 crore. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a nice trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.